Hello, it's Christine from the channel Christine and Celeste. And well, it's been a while since I made a video. I was doing a couple of challenges in March, like March of the Pips. And also, that was on YouTube, I did. And then Mad March Tarot, which I did on For Love of Cards Facebook page. And things happened mid-month, mid-March. Following all the meditation and changes I'm trying to bring into my life. You know, it's spring, we need to spring clean, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm doing this a bit obsessively. I'm clearing the house, I'm putting things on eBay, I'm throwing things away, giving and cleaning, and I just want the zen space I deserve. Now, so I stopped March of the Pips right in the middle because I don't often feel like cleaning, so when I do, I just go for it. And but I carried on with Mad March Tarot. It just took me 5 minutes a day, so I carried on with that. And while doing this challenge, one of the person who was posted a deck that I knew was around, but I never quite looked at it. It's been around for so long and I never quite looked at it, and it never really interested me. It looked, I don't know, not very interesting to me. And it's funny because you know how things happen at the same time, because then I watched a video from Sovereign Self, and she did a video on I bought the deck I said I'd never buy, because she watched Simon's video on the Morgan Greer, and she was put off by all the moustache and stuff, so she thought she'd never buy it, and she actually bought it and loved it. So this is where my video is coming from, is that it's not that I said I'd never buy, it's that I thought I would never buy it. I had nothing against it, it's just one of the decks I thought, bah, not for me. But then in that challenge, I looked at it again and I thought, because with fresh eyes, you have a different perspective, more years of tarot, different tastes, and it just suits me right now. So what's this deck? It's called, terrible name, The New Century Tarot by Rolf Eichelmann, and the English version is by US Games. So this is the box, and it says on the box, New Century Tarot celebrates the vitality of the 21st century in a new interpretation of the major and minor arcana cards. The pictorially illustrated cards feature creative landscapes that are rich in nature and I don't think I can read this. The box is a bit torn. No, I can't read the end of the sentence, sorry. Rendered in vibrant colors, traditional tarot is transformed under the talent of artist Rolf Eichelmann. So he's a German artist. I'll show you the ISBN if you're interested. The year, it was printed in China already, so it's not from today, is it? The year is 2003 and already printed in China. This is the back. I love the backs, really love them. And there is a spare card, let's say, and it says, the New Century Tarot deck explores a unique tarot journey that began with the artist more than 10 years ago. So it took him 10 years to make his own tarot. Rolf Eichelmann developed this vibrant deck with inspiration derived from Tarot Classic by Stuart R. Caplan. Yeah, because at the time, Stuart Caplan was really involved in the tarot, in the US game tarot publishing. He then sketched the major arcana while vacationing on the small island of La Gomera, one of the Canary Islands in Spain. It's funny, this, isn't it? It's like a biography. He completed the remainder of the deck back in Germany, his homeland, in 2002. So, that's the English version. There's a booklet that comes with it, and let me tell you, I like this little white book because, first of all, it's kind of plasticky, so you know it's not that paper that once you put it back in the box, it will corner all the time when you put the flip the flap back in. So it looks pristine. Then it starts straight away with the major arcana, so there's no blurb about the history of tarot or whatever about the tarot. They put all the information on this card. So it starts with the major arcana, and if you notice, there's no fool because a lot of older decks, not all of them, but a lot of older decks took a French tradition, which the fool was at the end of the journey, right, and restarting it, or at the beginning and at the end. But in the booklet, it's at the end. It's still number 0, but 0 can be at the end. So yes, so it goes through the major arcana, and what I like is that it actually describes the cards. Can you believe this? 2003, the little white book describes the card, doesn't just put a generic meaning about the card, which bores me endlessly. So it's got the description of the card and then the card meaning. Right? There's no reversals. And then we have the minors. And we start with swords, and once again, we start with from king to ace. I think the Golden Dawn does that too. And then, well, no, it's from king to page, and then ace to 10. That's it. So then you have all the suits, and that's it. No Celtic cross either. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable. So that's the little white book in English. Now, I have a German version too. Let's be international while we can. So the German version was made by Urania AGM. So you see the box is a lot bigger. And that's the back. Yeah, AGM Miller, Urania. And I'll show you if you're interested. There. So, the booklet in German. Beautiful. It's a proper little booklet. That was made in 2004. Here you have the list of the cards, the contents table, and you have an introduction. And I can't understand much. I should have looked at it a little bit more, but it talks about Atlantis. That's what I can pick up here. Then about Stuart Caplan again. Acryl technique. I think it talks about how he designed it. Oh, my German. I used to speak German, but English took over, and honestly, there's so much time in life, and I forgot my German. I stayed months in Berlin. Anyway, and then we start by Die großen Arcana. So there's an introduction again, and you can see that there seem to be a lot more information on the German booklet. I don't know if there's a spread at the end. Yeah, there is. Yeah. There's 4 card spreads and 1 spread with just the majors, which once again with French tradition you do a lot. So that's that. That's the little booklet in German. Now we can look at the cards. So the English or American version. So I said that's the backs. So it's that rich purple and black, and it's just beautiful. Now mine came edged, although it wasn't written that somebody edged it, and I can see that someone edged it in a nice purple, so it doesn't bother me. It's beautiful. And that's the Fool. So why I never looked at this deck? Well, I mean, the size of the font is already like, no, the purple, I do love purple, but that's kind of, I feel, overwhelming. And obviously the copyright US games, I mean, we know it's you, we'll always say it's from you, you know. I wish it was at the back of the card somewhere. And I don't know, I found the even at the time when we went talking about borders and cardstock, and oh yeah, cardstock, I always forget, because for me it's not that important. Cardstock is fine, it's fine to me anyway, but I like most cardstocks, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I just found at the time looking at it, it was just like, oh, too much information, too many colors, and too small, because it could have been bigger. The cards themselves are not that big, and I don't have any other tarot to compare. I keep forgetting. So, but let's say the German version, which I'm going to show you in a second, is a proper tarot size. That's more poker size, let's say. So, what do I like? Well, let me read you the English booklet, the introduction of the Major Arcana. All pictures are set in the same landscape. In the upper half of the card, you will find trees with trunks in a reddish hue. Light. Let me. That's it. It's better. In the lower half of the cards, there is more open landscape featuring various plant life. Each card also has a special and unique details, and that's true. So this is quite busy, and there's things coming from up, down, sides, it's from everywhere, and I think that's why, for me, it was just too busy. However, when I had a breath and looked at it and, you know, really looked into it, I saw there's so much details. One thing I love about it is that I love the richness of fabric, and not so much now, but I used to love haute couture, and oh, I went to a Dior exhibition in London that just blew my mind. But anyway, I love fabrics and the richness of it, and this is really nice for me. Another thing I like is that if I show you the Magician, and it's a shame it's got these borders because the scenes kind of follow, right? So even the water does here. So you could put them side by side and have them follow. That's another thing I like. Now, the difference between the English and the German, because you can get the German, I mean, tarot is tarot, isn't it? It'd be a shame for the booklet, though, because it's so informative on the cards. So that's the back of the German, right? So that's the German here. The cardstock is thinner. The size, as you can see, is a lot. I'll do it like that. You see better. It's the same. Not even. Oh, it's the same color. It's purple. It's all purple. It's hard to see the difference. Yeah. Here. Well, I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah. It's not as large and certainly not as tall. So the German cards are bigger. But then look at the size jeez, of these titles. I mean, one thing though I like about the German one is that the colors are lighter. Right, you can see that. And the actual picture is bigger. I don't know how to show you this here. No, it doesn't look good like that. It's larger. Yeah, there. You see that the picture, the German picture is larger. So more picture space, right? One of them I'm probably going to trim, and I don't know which one, because I like the gold of the English version versus the orange of the German. I hate the title, but I like the size of it, so I might trim it. But the problem is then the back. I will cut into that back, so I'll probably trim this one and then put them one next to another and make stories from it and see how it goes. So that's the difference. Let's get into the deck. Sorry, I know it's been 17 minutes and I've only shown you the full. Oh my god, I hope you do like big videos. Oh, I have my hearing, purple hearing. Yeah, I like that. So the Fool. Let me read to you what it says about the Fool card. In the middle of an imaginative landscape, the magician. The Fool is the last card. The careless fool walks around without watching his path and with the aim of a child. He's dressed imaginatively and his right foot still stands firm on the ground. You can see. A barking dog jumps up his left leg, but the fool is unaware of its presence, nor does he take notice that his left foot is stepping into empty space. Well, to me, it's more than just empty space. He's stepping into that river in the flow. He's going in his life, in the flow of life. So it could be starting a life, as in, birth, but it could also be getting back into your flow, your life flow, which is a great thing for these cards, great meaning. He tilts his face upward with a cheeky expression and wears a fool's cap on his head. Now, if you notice the colors, is all blues, purples, which is all upper levels. But he's got a red, orange, yellow cap, so it's the lower chakras. So is getting the incarnation, lost the word, the awareness of life on his head slowly. And the dog is the same color, and you can see here the sun too. That's the sun rays. Can you believe this? I haven't got a clue what the black is. I don't know if it talks about it behind him. Only children and fools possess this naive joy of life. The broad sunbeam falling down to earth behind him emphasizes the serenity of this picture. With his left hand, he carries a stick. It rests over his shoulder and drops downward with the weight of its contents. The stick holds a bundle containing his few belongings. In his right hand, he holds a fresh green walking staff that touches the flowing water. So really, I mean, he could have gone on and on to describe a lot more. And then there's the card meaning: adventure, pleasure, spontaneity, curiosity, childlike confidence, and longing. And then you have what we could call, it doesn't say it's reverse, but the more negative or shadow side, which would be stupidity, immaturity, failings, and lack of responsibility. So you do have the other side of the coin, but it doesn't have to be reversed. It can be a feeling that it's the more shadowy side of the card, or the card next to it or around it that give you that. So then we move to the magician. And as you can see, the trees follow, the river doesn't really, a little bit, but the trees follow, so really it can make sceneries. So let's move on, because it's going to be long again. There. So that's the magician, and a lot is happening here. So you notice here he's got 3 cups, but the cups have got all the element, and he's got the wand in his hand here. He's got the infinity sign. Everything is there. Is that dragons at the top, or flying fishes? I mean, there's angel wings. It's on and on and on in details. So if you don't like busy decks, and I normally don't that much, it's not my favorite, but I do like this one. What can I say? What can I say? That's why, you know, it's a deck I never thought I would buy, because I knew it was around for a long time and I never, ever thought I would buy it. I like the fact the High Priestess is bare feet, like me. I love being barefooted. The headdress, look at the fabric too. It's like the cat's, oh, what's that tarot? The crazy cat's one. I forgot the name, sorry. It's gonna come back. Where they all live in different worlds and they all have this rich fabric on them. It reminds me a bit of that. So yeah. And the colors, look at the Empress, the white, you know, the purity of the Empress. She's nearly like a Virgin Mary. I love this. And then, I don't know, is it water or is it... Oh, it's like the back. It's like the back of the card here. It's like she melts into the underwear too. I'm not going to start reading the booklet, otherwise we'll never get there. You want to see cards? I know. So I understand why you wouldn't like it at all, but look at the Hierophant. That's a deal maker, that card. To me. And I feel that, although it doesn't talk about colors, I feel this guy knew about the meanings of colors too. I mean, he's an artist, so obviously he must have a knowledge of more esoteric colors or chakra colors. Look at that chariot. I find them, it's exquisite. Strength is 8 in here, as more right away this. Maybe it's more thought. I'm not sure what tradition he followed, because there's no keywords. Maybe it's a mix. Look at that hermit. That Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. So Justice is 11. And she's got that white. Is it a feather on her head? That's beautiful. Huh. They really do look like portraits that could be hung on the wall, like painting. They really look like paintings, but yeah, very appropriate for tarot too. Look at this. Ooh. Temperance is amazing too. Yeah. The checkered board, he always makes me think about strategy, right? So they're falling, going to a more structured, although it's funny because the tower will take the structure away, but for a new one. Yeah, it's look, the water is coming out of her hands. Isn't it exquisite? Now, it's 80s art, but it's not like, like we were talking before about the Morgan Grey. It's not a moustache deck, although I like the Morgan Grey. I've had it for years. I wish I could get a better light. I'm sorry about this. It's just that it's getting more and more grey in the sky. There. The babies, the wall. Yeah. Judgment. Look at these. Are they... I don't know what's floating around, but look at the hands. Let's have a look at Judgment. I hope you're still with me. An angel glides down with flaming wings in front of the dark blue band of sky. So that's the sky, right? The blue band. That's why he likes to put the sun, the sky in bands like that. And you'll see in the minors too. He holds his hand over the human figures who stand before him naked and vulnerable in order to protect them. Some of them are engulfed by a beaming aura, others are just approaching. I mean, there's auras in it. Cleansing water flows around the feet of the reborn figures. Flakes of light pour out of the angel's palms and fall down to earth in order to drive away darkness. I mean, this is a healing card. Card meaning resurrection, rebirth, and renewal. And the more shadow side is imprisonment and condemnation. But look at what's coming out of his hands and the auras. And I like the stones too, and the trees and the elements. It makes it very earthy without having the title. Well, I don't like the New Century Tarot. I mean, it looks aged as a title, but it's not, shamanic or whatever. It's a tarot. And the words. Just wonderful. She looks wonderful. Yeah, I love this deck, and as you can see, there are no all size 4 models either. There's different, I didn't say that, but there's different traditions too, like here. So pretty multicultural, but you don't really see it. I don't know what it is about this deck. You don't really see it before you got it in your hands. So let's start with the minors, and that was another deal breaker. I thought, I hate these minors. This is lazy. This is not for me. And then I had another look, and I'm like, actually, it's clever. It's a hybrid between a peep deck and an illustrated deck. So we start with the swords, just like the booklet. And This is the Ace of Swords. So you see the richness, there's the white, the yellow, the red, the wreath here. There's already a lot to go on in just for this card. Then, as you will see, oops, all the backgrounds are the same. And I thought, this is lazy, but I didn't notice. Look at these people. There's always an illustration. It's never the same element representation. Like the swords are put in different shapes, for example, or they're different shaped swords, elements. I'll show you. Look at that. So what does it say? Because it's interesting to know what the booklet says about a miner, so I'll choose this one. There's a bit less text, obviously, like in every deck. Two angels keep the crossed swords between them. Their shining wings are closed to their androgynous figures. The expression they hold is empty. Wow! The Two of Swords represent peace, calm, harmony, neutrality, and the resolution of conflicts. But it also indicates Tao. So there you go, and there's even angels. But there's angels in every tarot with the lovers anyway. But the Three of Swords. So there's always an illustration. And you can make your whole story. I mean, honestly, look at that. That's more right away. It seems to come from a few different traditions. Look at the clothes up there on this. I mean, it's amazing. This deck just amazes me. When I thought it was plain, lazy, and too busy for me, I actually find it very interesting. It's not that I love it, it's just that it's showing me a different aspect that I can work with. I mean, I do feel these waves here, and I feel that I can see the sword, there's one going this way, the other one going back, and it's just like, these Six of Swords make me feel like you're being bashed about, if I can say this word, by life. You can't find your center. You're going right, left, whatever the wave pushes you to. And sometimes it's good, but it's nice to have your own center. And you can see here the red trying to ground, but how can you ground on waves? Well, yeah. The Seven, the phoenix rising from her hair and her. Is she doing a mudra? No, she's just putting her hands like that. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you a different deck, a different look at it, because I never had a second look at it. And actually, it's worth having a second look. I do understand that maybe it's not the artwork you would go for, you know, as in taste, because it's very bold colored, but it's exquisite. It's exquisite. Yeah, I'll move on. So you see the swords are always different. It's important whether the sword is going up or down. Look at that. See, there's a softness about it too in this deck. Here we have the court cards. So that's the page. The knight is on a horse. The queen. And the king. Seems like quite a young king. Cups. 3 more suits to go. I'll try and speed up a little bit. Okay, here we have our Ace of Cups. The 2. So you see the landscape again is the same background. So I thought that was lazy, but now I like it because it follows. It's like Flip your thoughts. Three of Cups. Yeah. Yes, there's animals, there's auras, colors, a lot of stones too, which I like. So you see the cups are all put differently. They're different. You can see different tradition. I can see more Marseille in minors, but still illustrated. Look at that. She's taking off her mask. Oops. Sorry. There's nudity, I think, on this one. Oh my god. The 9. Look at that flow. Isn't that a gorgeous 10 of Cups? So the page. Look at the shoes. How exquisite. The knight is going this way this time. Yeah, like that. The queen looking the other side and the king facing. And it's important which way they're looking while they're holding. Well, their feet, look at his feet. He's covering a lot of ground. Pentacles. So the ace again. The 2. He's playing music. He's got a cloud above his head. I think he's playing music to his plants, maybe. Let's see. So they grow. That's what comes to mind. But let's see. The guitar player interrupts the balance and serenity of the 2 big pentacles. He dances in a flowered landscape. He's light on his feet with the aid of his wings. Oh, he's got wings. He's got long shoes. He possesses the wisdom of a fool and the innocence of the child. Okay. Well, to me, he's playing music to his plants so they grow. And bringing water. Yeah. The 3. She's painting, I think. Sorry, but, yeah. The 3 of Pentacles are arranged like a pyramid at the bottom. That's interesting too. Pyramid shape. And what's in it? What's in the... Is it a quill? A young female sculptor stands as she works. Yeah, that's cool. There's more, but I just, yeah. Look at the 4 with his stones. Yeah, the 5. Right away. The 6. Oh, she's got these orange flashes around her. I wonder what they're about. Doesn't say on this one. Can see the blooming plants she's holding. Light. Gonna have a dark sky and it's like 10 a.m. Seven, 8. So you can go on the pips themselves or on a picture or both. We've got so much to read on this card. It's a good transition deck. If you've always been afraid of pips, because, you know, I look at the Marseille pips, sometimes I'm like, oh, what on earth? You know, I get 3 pips, because I do often 3 card spray, and look at the 3 pips, and I'm like, oh, Oh, jeez, I don't know what does it mean. So it takes me still today because I'm more intuitive and I always feel pips are more on knowledge. But that's a good transition deck for this. There are others um, decks that are good for transition decks. Look at that 10. Oh. So here we have again the page, the knight, the queen. She's exquisite too, this queen. And the king. And the last two, the wands. So the 2, the 3, where she's aiming her arrow. And you can see in this one, there are snakes coming down the wands. So maybe she's tackling these obsessions of her or things she wants to change in her life, so she can plan and have the happiness she's looking for, which is the next card in the 4 of Wands, which is here actually. It's funny how there's a bit of the bits of fabric too that you can see floating around, like here and here. It's pretty interesting. You can see here the wands in the 4 are plain, but in the 5 again they have shoots. Look at them here. What does it say about the 5 of Wands? Oh my, it's a fun deck. 4 young people compete powerfully at the base of the 5 upright wands. Also, it's a competition like the Olympics, right? Oh yeah, I see that now. They're escorted in their efforts by a blue cloud. So once again, they've got an aura around them, that blue aura, and it can be a strength in communication. It can be, you know, physical too, because first of all, it's red here. I mean, there's a lot of interpretations here. Yeah. Wow, what is he doing to these tigers? Huh. Yeah. So, sorry it's taking so long, but I thought, because we never see this deck around, and I kind of enjoyed that video. I bought the deck I said I'd never buy, but to me it was I thought I would never buy. So that was that. If you have any decks you thought you would never buy, please make a video, because they're fun and we can discover maybe different decks too that we haven't seen around so much. So it was nice again to, well, I don't see you, but to communicate with you. Please leave comments below. I really enjoy your comments, and make videos about decks you never thought you would buy and now you think actually the negatives, I'll show you the negatives and why they don't bother me that much now, why I'm looking at them differently. So on this, it's been a long video and I see you very soon. Bye bye.